Hey guys, we're back. In this video, we're going to talk about sweeteners.
Yeah, sugar substitute.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that you should know. Let's start with molasses, okay? Molasses is basically the waste product from white sugar. They take sugar cane, they take all the vitamins out, and they put it into molasses. But this is where all the nutrition is. You have minerals, vitamins. It's still high in sugar, but it has good amounts of iron and other minerals, calcium. So, I mean, if you're anemic, it might be a good thing, but I don't normally recommend this if you have any blood sugar issues. But white sugar is terrible. This will not create any dental decay.
So can I use it? That's what I want to know.
You can use it in small amounts, maybe for children occasionally.
How about for gingerbread cookies?
Probably not, but here's the thing. If you take white sugar and then people buy brown sugar, they think it's healthier. All it is, it's a tiny little drop of this in white sugar. So brown sugar is really almost equivalent to white sugar. Especially sugar, like raw sugar cane, it's the same deal.
So what if I had one of these other sugars and I added a little bit of molasses to it to make it molassesy?
If it's just a small amount, I think it'll be okay, but don't go crazy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is stevia. Stevia is completely no glycemic problems with that. It's an herb. It's an Indian herb. It's very sweet, but it gives an aftertaste.
Well, some of them give an aftertaste for sure. And the thing that I have to be careful with stevia in cooking is that it doesn't work one for one. When you have recipes that say a cup of sugar, you're not going to put a cup of stevia, at least not. We just have to read every package is different. Yeah. This stevia here, you use a tiny percent to each measurement. So it's not one-to-one. If you use one-to-one with this is Kiva Organic Stevia, super, super concentrated. They do have a grid on the back, tells you how to use it, but you just have to be careful. This one doesn't really have a lot of aftertaste. I kind of like it. I've been using it in some recipes here and there, but the other thing you have to remember is that sugar is a bulk in recipes. So if you're replacing a cup of sugar with a tablespoon of this, the chemistry is going to be a little different. So I have been playing with all of these things. A lot of you guys ask me, can I substitute this for that? You just have to read the sweetener and see what it substitutes. If it's one for one, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now we have this one right here. So
just like sugar.
Just like sugar. This is chicory root dietary fiber.
I like this. I like it a lot.
I don't like it.
He doesn't like it.
It gives a little bit of a bitter taste, but they have the brown and the white. So you can test it out, see if you like it.
I think this one the brown is a little bit more of the bitter that you're talking about. I think this works great. I have to be really careful with what I use because my body doesn't like erythritol, and there are certain sugar alcohols that give me a little GI, intestinal situation.
This is not the erythritol.
No, I know. This is why I like it.
So we got erythritol. That's a sugar alcohol. I don't have a sample here.
Right.
The thing about erythritol, it's a low glycemic index, but
what does that mean? It
doesn't affect the blood sugars very much, but it can create some digestive bloating occasionally, or diarrhea. Now, xylitol is another sugar alcohol. I like xylitol the best because it tastes almost identical to sugar. Yeah. Again, it can mess up your digestive system if you have too much. It's very, very toxic to dogs. If a dog consumes 100 grams, they'll be dead in 30 minutes. So you have to make sure.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that anymore.
But here's the thing. If you get erythritol or xylitol, make sure you get non-GMO.
Non-GMO everything always. That was really a downer. We're going to move on to something else.
Let's go on to this one right here.
Okay, I haven't tried this one yet, but this is called Fiber Yum.
It's the same thing. These are the same.
Vita Fiber, Fiber Yum. I'm really happy about this because when you're making recipes and it's calls for something liquid, like a lot of these paleo and sugar-free recipes have what's it called?
Inulin?
No. Okay, I'm blanking out. It's the agave. It's agave nectar. We don't use agave nectar. It's still too high in sugars. But this Fiber Yum is great. I have another video that you can check out. I make my own maple syrup with this. Does nothing to the tummy.
It has the least amount of digestive stress interaction. Basically, it's an isomaltyl oligosaccharide.
There
Can
you
say
go.
that? Isomaltyl
Fiber
oligosaccharide?
yum. Fiber yum.
So
Fiber yum.
these two are the same. Like, you just see if they're an isomaltyl oligosaccharide. Same thing, but it's just like a syrupy type thing. It's
Yeah, it's great.
non-GMO.
If you have a recipe that calls for honey, if you have a recipe that calls for maple syrup, agave nectar, this is the thing. It's great. And like I said, you might have a reaction to some of these. You just have to test it out. Some people do, some don't. I'm really sensitive, and I'm fine with it.
Now, the maple syrup recipe we're going to show them, is that part of this?
Yeah, I use fiber yum in the maple syrup.
Here's another maple syrup, sugar-free maple syrup you can get. This is malt. This is basically
maltitol.
Yeah, maltitol.
Some of my family love this. It's got a great consistency of the sugar-free syrups I've tried. The consistency is great. The smell is great. The taste is actually really good. I cannot eat this at all. So again, you just have to check it out for yourself.
What happens is that a lot of these they're a fiber that is goes in the digestive system, and your microbes interact with it. So if you don't have the enzymes to break it down, or if it's not going through, it can create a lot of issues.
Are you dissing my enzymes?
No.
You saying something? You dissing my enzymes?
Yeah, sort of. Monk fruit.
Monk fruit.
So
I like
this
it.
is another good sweetener. Again, it can create some digestive issues if you have too much. So you want to play around. Some people are sensitive, some people aren't, but it's another sweetener. Low glycemic index.
Yeah, I like this just to serve for coffee or tea kind of thing. It does have a little aftertaste that's different than sugar. Of course, these all will. They're substitutes. But I've found this to be really pricey, and I am a consignment shop economical girl. So if it's super pricey, I'm not going to use it. But I test everything, so this is okay. This is okay for table serving.
So this is probably the best one you want to use right here.
Well, in his opinion, it's the best. I think this is the best, and the fiber yum. So there you go. You guys had a lot of questions about what can you substitute, what can you use, and I'm always answering saying you just have to check it out, and definitely read the ingredients if you're using a stevia product to see how much you need to measure, but you should play with it. Yeah.
And put your comments below.
Yeah. Thanks.